The decline of China's steel industry is shaking the global economy. China, the world's leading steel power with an annual production of over 1 billion tons, accounting for more than 50% of global output, is currently facing difficulties due to declining demand. This has led to domino effects on the global industrial sector. The main cause is the downturn in the domestic construction sector, leading to an oversupply situation. This has raised concerns that China might increase exports of cheap steel, impacting production and employment in many countries. President Xi Jinping's shift towards developing high-tech and green technologies, aimed at reducing the industry's dependence on real estate growth, represents a significant effort to address this challenging issue in China's steel sector. The steel crisis of 2015 to 2016 caused significant political controversy in Europe and the US. Although current trade tensions between the US, EU, and China focus on 21st-century technologies, steel issues could still provoke disputes, particularly concerning long-standing businesses and local communities in regions, such as the US Rust Belt and northern England. China's massive production scale means that even small fluctuations in domestic demand can have a major impact on the international market. The country's steel exports in the first half of this year were equivalent to North America's entire output, and are expected to reach around 100 million tons this year. Falling domestic steel prices have made exports more attractive. Export prices for hot-rolled steel from China are now at their lowest since 2020, leading to a global decline in steel prices. Despite tightened trade defense measures in many countries, steel can still be redirected to new markets. Latin America is facing a surge in cheap imports. From 80,500 tons per year at the beginning of the century, Chinese steel imports into the region rose to 10 million tons last year. The explosion of cheap steel exports from China is causing global concern. From Latin America to Europe and the US, countries are grappling with the challenge of protecting their domestic steel industries from this wave of imports. In Colombia, the local steel industry representative has called on the government for trade protection measures. Similar reactions have been observed in many other countries. Under President Joe Biden's leadership, the US is considering increasing tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminium. Top economic advisor Lael Brainerd has warned about the serious threat posed by China's overcapacity to the US steel and aluminium industries. Washington is also taking steps to limit Chinese steel from being transported through third countries like Mexico. The impact of this issue extends beyond the steel industry. The iron ore market, a key raw material for steel production, is also heavily affected, becoming one of the worst performing commodities this year with a nearly 10% drop in just 1 week. For China, the situation presents a difficult challenge. On one hand, the government wants to restructure the overcapacity steel industry. On the other hand, these efforts could impact economic growth and employment in an unstable economic environment. With millions of jobs at stake, the steel industry plays a crucial role in China's economy. As of June, more than 2,300 steel companies reported losses, a 33% increase from the end of last year. However, there are signs that Chinese steel producers are responding to the downturn. July production fell by 9% compared to the same period last year, and exports have also slightly decreased in recent months. This indicates the industry's ability to self-adjust, though the overcapacity issue has not been fully resolved. According to the World Steel Association, China's domestic steel demand may have peaked and could decline further in the medium term. This presents a significant challenge for the country's steel industry in finding new markets. Experts from Steel Home Consulting note that the entire industry will face difficulties if it relies solely on the domestic market. Government policies need to be adjusted to address the current situation. The crisis in China's steel industry is having ripple effects worldwide, posing challenges not only for the world's second-largest economy but also for the international community. Finding a balance between restructuring the industry and maintaining economic and social stability will be a difficult task in the coming period.